Hi, I'm Dale Thomas Vaughn. I'm glad you just got my list of top 100 US newspapers, all those editors, three at all 100 of them. So you got 300 contacts. Now it's like, what do I do with them? I'm going to email the ones near me or where I'm at, wherever I'm traveling or wherever I'd like to get media. And that's great. But then the question is, how do you actually get your email open? You have to get past that first gatekeeper, right? That email inbox that's full of pitches. How do you stand out? So that's where your headline comes into effect. If you have a good headline, you can get through that initial barrier. And I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. And we're going to start with, this is just a piece of the larger workshop and classroom that I teach to my students and clients. So in this, I need you to stop thinking about yourself as a need-based entrepreneur. This is a mindset shift that is going to help you get your emails open, and then we'll get to pitching, okay? So the first problem, shifting your identity from a need-based entrepreneur. I need money, I have to make money in order to survive, I got to pay bills, so I'm going to invest some of my money, a little bit of my money, in a publicist who's going to go out and get me leads by attracting media and then therefore my buyers, right? Well, what this sets up is a funneling problem. It's a problem that repeats itself. So you want to pay the publicist as little as possible in order to get the most out of them. They want you to pay them as much as possible for getting as little out of them as possible. And what happens is it creates a need-based scenario all along. You lose the relationship after you hire the publicist. You lose the relationship with the media, which is the actual value you'd like to get out of this. And you lose the relationship with the buyers because the buyers have the relationship with the media. And then you attract buyers who think kind of like you, who are trying to get as much as possible for as little as possible investment. If you're actually a need-based entrepreneur, this gets you into trouble because you start hearing things like, how little can I pay you in order to get your service? Or how much will you give me for free? Or will you work for pro bono? Or you might hear after they get your service, well, I was expecting a whole lot more for how much I paid you. These are people who are also coming from a need-based scenario. I want you to change the way you think before you send an email. And it starts like this. You are now, instead of being in the far left, you're in the middle here. You are the trusted and valuable expert as part of an ecosystem. And in that ecosystem, the first person to think about from left to right is actually the audience. You want to think about who is it I'm targeting and where did they go for media? Who are their trusted media sources for the things that your audience cares about, that you care about as well. So there's this middle layer here you see of curators and PR. I want you to pay attention to that. That's how your email is going to get open. The curators are the editors, the producers, the showrunners, whomever you're pitching in the media. They actually have the relationship with your audience, and they actually understand your audience really, really deeply. So you need to understand them, and you need to create a relationship with them. Now, if you come at this from, hey, I know a lot about this topic that your audience cares about, I understand your audience, and I know that you need content, then the curators of the media start to see you as this valuable, trusted expert. And then they see your business. Your audience sees your business as a trusted business. And you see how this is a repeatable cycle, because then people who invest in you and your business start to see that as a trusted investment. It's been verified by a third party, a curator who has no actual business interest in your bottom line. They just care about the good content. So what's great about this relationship is that you start to build an ongoing system. You can actually go back to that curator of the media over and over again. This is how I've been featured multiple times on podcasts, the same podcast, or multiple times in the same blog. You can become a sustainable contributor in some places. This is a really, really great model. This is the way to drive ongoing, huge traffic to your business. Now, how do you actually use this mentality? This is the cool part of this. So as part of my system in Media for Your Mission, I teach all the processes of getting media, but I'm just going to cover the first part of the first step really quickly, and that is your newsworthy headline. If you've got a kick-ass headline, that's what you put in the email subject line, and that's what gets your email open. So how do you make sure you have a newsworthy headline? You need to do three things, and these are the things that I coach my clients to do, which has gotten them on all those places you see below on the bottom there, and many, many, many more. The newsworthy headline starts with this. You need to understand your client. You need to read your client's mind. I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. You need to find the story template that matches your audience. I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. And then you need to speak the editor's language. Now, once they actually open your email, they need to see that you are actually in the ecosystem. And I'm going to show you how to do the first two of those right away. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to get deeper with me into the speaking the editor's language and all the rest of the process after this, okay? So this is how you read your target market's mind. You put them into what you think of as an avatar. What is your ideal client thinking? What are their main fears, their pains, their worries? What are their typical thoughts? What are their typical stories that you're hearing from your clients or the people that you want to work with? What are their quotes? Use their words as much as you can to form your first pitch, your first headline. Your best headlines, my best headlines, come straight from the mouth of my audience. So I listen, I pay attention to who I'm trying to reach. What are they thinking? What are they fearing? What are their biggest worries throughout the day? If I can get really clear about that, then I can make something that actually matches them. It makes it look like I am reading their mind. Have you ever been reading through a magazine or through the newspaper or scrolling through Facebook or whatever, and a story feels like it just is targeted to you? Like I've been going through that today. I can't believe it came up on my news feed. That's somebody who's really thought about what you are going through in your life. So you want to do that too. Once you've done this, now I'd love to go really deep with you, but I know that you're smart and you can handle kind of going through this process. You've probably even done some of this with your marketing plan. Really get down to the quotes and the stories. From there, you want to then go to your ideal client's favorite news sources, their trusted media sources. And I've put these in 3 different buckets: visual, auditory, and print. That's because that's typically how we consume news. It's also how you can choose where you want to show up. If you are really, really good in audio formats, like you love long processes where you get to really talk, spend 20, 30, 40 minutes, podcasts are going to be great for you. If you're more like a 2-minute burst kind of person, visual might be great for you. If you're more of a print person, you like to write, okay, then go that direction. The point here is to think about what are your audience actually taking in? What is their media sources that they trust? Write 3 or 4 down in each category and you'll have your first media list, right? You've got my newspapers, that's a good start, and this will give you an idea of where to go. Now, this is how you get the email headline straight. You go to the website for each of those places you write down, and you literally type in like a search term to your topic. So say your topic is, I don't know, wedding planning. You go to Cosmopolitan and you type in wedding planning or weddings, and you see what stories have come up there. Now, you literally are getting the actual headlines that have been pitched and have actually been published in the place you want to be published. Now, that gives you the exact template for how you should craft your headline, and it gives you the template for how you should craft your email subject line as well. So if your email subject line says article idea, colon, and then your headline, and your headline matches the template of the place you're pitching, right, and the audience's mindset, then you are a sure bet. You're somebody an editor can go, okay, this person understands my audience, they understand my website, or they understand my blog, they understand my podcast, they understand the format of my stories. I can open this and be confident that this is probably worth the 1 to 2 minutes of my time. Now, if you want to know what happens after that, I suggest that you subscribe to the webinar below. I'm going to get deeper into how do you actually make a pitch that works? How do you speak the editor's language so that they know you're trusted, you're valuable, you're trustworthy, and that you build that relationship. When we talk about public relations or media relations, PR, it's the relationship that's important. It's not so much the publicity. People think it's, oh, if I just shout it from the mountaintop, that will get people. No, you really want to build the relationships with the curators of your news. So I want you to subscribe below to the webinar. You'll be able to get everything you need from that point to start to create your pitch. Now, my clients go really deep. I get to really work with them, get to really hone them, but you're smart. You're going to be able to get this started. So you've got your media list already. You've learned how to start to craft your email subject line. Subscribe below to learn how to get your pitch straight so that once they open your email, they actually say, reply, you're booked. Wouldn't that be great? If you get booked, no kidding, we're talking taking your story to thousands, to 10,000s, to hundreds of thousands, to millions of people. And just 1,000 people might change your business, but imagine what 1,000,000 people seeing your story could do to your business. Just, it changes your life, right? It feels good, and then you are recognized from then on. So I want you to think about that, dream about that, feel about that, and sign up below, because I'm going to help you get to the next step. Thank you. Dale Thomas Vaughn, Media for Your Mission.